Words of our Divine Mother from the book The Mother, with comments of our Divine Mother in 1954. Comments on chapter 2 of the book The Mother by our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Page 138. Question. A Tamasic surrender refusing to fulfill the conditions. If it refuses to fulfill the conditions, it is no longer surrender, is it, sweet mother? For that mother says, exactly, but there are many who think that they have surrendered and tell you, I no longer do anything myself, I've given myself to the divine ought to do everything for me. This they call surrender. That is to say, it is a moment of laziness and tamas which does not make or want to make any effort and would very much like the divine to do everything, but because that is much more even comfortable. Question. What is the heart's seeking? Mother says, the heart's seeking, it is the emotional being trying. The class is interrupted by a loud exclamation from the children of the boarding house who can see the fireworks from their terrace. Mother says, we can't see anything, it is from that side, we can only hear the noise. Seeking, mother says, seeking means the affective center is trying to find an emotional contact with the divine. It is truly this. Mother stops, then she says, I can hardly even speak. And now? The next question, why does one always go on for useless talking? Why do we speak uselessly? For this mother says, why do we speak uselessly? Yes, that's probably because man is instinctively very proud of being able to wield the word. He is the first being on earth who can speak, who emits articulate sounds. So it is a kind of, it's like a child who has a new toy. It likes to play with everything very much. Man is the only animal on earth who has articulate sounds at his disposal. So he plays with them, you see. I think it's like that. And then there's all the stupidity. I also said that some people could begin to think only when they have talked. When they do not speak, they do not even think. They are not able to think in silence. So they get into a habit of speaking. But the more the developed one is, the more intelligent the one is, and the less need one has to express oneself. It is always at the lower level that one needs to talk, and truly a being who is very conscious, who's mentally or intellectually very developed, talks only when it is necessary. He does not utter useless words. In the social scale, it is like that. Take people right at the bottom of the scale. They talk the most. They spend their time on talking. They can't stop. Whatever happens to them, they keep expressing immediately all that they have experienced in words. And to the extent that one is developed on a higher level of evolution, one feels much less need to speak. It comes from two causes. One, because it is a new faculty which naturally and instinctively has the attraction of new faculties. The other, because it helps you to become aware of your own thought. Otherwise, one doesn't think. One is not able to formulate his thought, unable or unless he expresses it in words aloud. Except those who are talkers by profession, that is, those who are in the habit of giving lectures or political speeches or taking classes or giving lessons, except those people who obviously can be both intellectual and talkative at the same time. As a general rule, the more talkative people are, the less are intellectually developed. What should be done is the next question. What should be done to refrain from talking, sweet mother? For this mother says, think. You have only to reflect a little more. If only you make it a habit to think before you speak, that saves you at least half of the way of what you say. To think before speaking and to say only what seems absolutely indispensable to you, then you will very quickly become aware that few words are indispensable except from the practical point of view in work. When one is working with somebody and is obliged to use words, do this, give me that, like this, like that, and even so, this can be reduced to a minimum. Otherwise, you see, again, there was a loud noise of fireworkers. The mother says, they are flying saucers. They go far away. How long will this go on? Half an hour. Another child, it goes on till 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, so I continue. Who has a question to ask? Whose turn is it? Mother says, sweet mother, there's a question again. Sometimes one knows that it is the truth, but still doubts this truth. Why does one doubt? Again, there's a loud noise. Nothing else is heard. What did you say? Speak very clearly. It will be a good exercise. Mother laughs. One knows that something is true, but still there is a doubt. Why does one doubt the truth? For this, mother says the usual answer is it is because one is foolish. Mother laughs. But the truth is that the physical mind is truly completely stupid. You can prove it very easily. It is constructed probably as a kind of a control in order to make sure that things are done as they ought to be. I think that's a normal work, but it has to be made into a habit to doubt everything. I think I've already told you about the small experience I made one day. I removed my control and left the control to the physical mind. It is the physical mind that doubts, or which doubts. So I made the following experiment. I went into a room, then came out of the room, closed the door. I have decided to close the door, and when I came to another room, this mind, the material mind, the physical mind, you see, and said, are you sure you locked the door? Now, I did not control. I said, very well, I obey it. I went back to see. I observed that the door was closed. I came back. As soon as I could not see the door any longer, it told me, have you verified it properly? So I went back again, and this went on till I decided, come on, that's enough, isn't it? Closed or not, I am not going to go back anymore to see. This could have gone the whole day. I made it like that. It stops being like that only when a higher mind, the rational mind, tells it keep quiet. Otherwise, it goes on indefinitely. So, by ill luck, you are centered there in this mind. Even the things you know the higher up are as quite true, even things of which you have a physical proof, like that of the closed doors. It doubts, it will doubt because it is built of doubt. It will say always, are you quite sure this is true? Isn't it an idea of yours? You don't suppose it's like this? And it will go on until one teaches it to be quiet and to be silent. The next question. Note that a Tamasic surrender, refusing to fulfill the conditions, calling on God to do everything. Yes, mother says yes, but we have just been speaking about this. I've already answered this question. Someone asked me, I think I already answered. How is the divine the sadhana? In yoga, also it is the divine who's the sadhaka and the sadhana as in the book of the mother. For this mother says, because it is the divine who does the sadhana in the being. Without the divine, there could be no sadhana. Only you know nothing about it. You think you are under the illusion that it is you. And precise, as long as you are under this illusion, you must make an effort. But the truth is that it is the divine who does the sadhana in you, and without the divine, there would be no sadhana. Here it is written, mother, sweet mother, here it is written, the divine is the sadhaka and the sadhana. Yes, he is everything, isn't he? Yes. Another child. Then mother, why the personal effort if it is the divine who does the sadhana? Let the divine do it, and where is the personal effort? For this mother laughs and says, yes, precisely what people say in their laziness. But if you are not lazy, you won't say it. And then mother laughs again. What does personal effort mean? Is the next question. Mother says, effort which thinks it is personal. You have the sense of your separate person. Do you feel that you are divine and only the divine? Well, the divine is this: precisely as long as you feel that you are Manoj, call as well as Manoj must make an effort. If you completely get rid of the notion of Manoj, there is no longer anything but the divine, and it is the divine who will make the effort naturally. But as long as there is Manoj, Manoj has to make the effort. But when Manoj makes the effort, it is the divine and Manoj who's making the effort, mother. For this, mother says, perhaps, but Manoj knows nothing. I say simply that if there was no divine, Manoj could not make the effort. But Manoj is not yet in a state to know that, so he thinks he is making an effort. And now you told me that today I know so. And then mother laughs and says, mental knowledge is not enough. You must have the practical experience. Otherwise, my children, we would all have transformed long ago, because for a long time we have had the knowledge that the transformation must come about. Is that all? Let us go on.